Today we're going to be doing a little chat on reality versus expectations. Now, when you hear about medical billing, you always get an impression of what you think it's going to be like. Keep watching if you're interested. My name is Tamika and I'm a certified professional biller. Now, if anybody can tell you about the realities of medical billing, it would be me. As far as the expectations, I hear so many expectations throughout my day, at work, in emails, DMs, all type of stuff. People are expecting certain things. For myself, though, when I first started out in medical billing, I didn't really have too many expectations. And that is because I just kind of went into it. I kind of fell into it. Now, if you heard my story before, you know that I did take a class or a course in 2000 in medical billing, but then forgot about it. And then in 2006, I had the opportunity to do it again. And that's because I asked to do it because the person who was doing the medical billing was leaving. And I was like, can I do it? Can I try it? I did take a course, even though I remembered nothing from this course. But I asked my boss to give me a chance. She did, and the rest is history. So I didn't really have too many expectations. Now, I got this video idea from the channel from CNA to NP. So I just wanted to give her due respect. I don't know if others have done videos like this, but hers was the one that I saw, and hers was the one that prompted me to do this video. Now, the first expectation, which I assume is the most important that most people ask about, is pay. Now, of course, pay ranges, which I think is the problem when it comes to your expectation. Now, the way people present medical billing, the expectation is that you'll make a lot of money, it's going to be easy, you're just going to be ringing in the money because doctors need billers, and to an extent, that is true. The reality of it is that it depends on many different factors that will determine whether or not you will make a lot of money. So, for example, if you're working in a small office and you are the medical biller for that small office and you start off and you're getting $15 an hour, you're not making a whole bunch of money. You're not necessarily going to make a whole bunch of money either, even if you stay at that job for years, for 10 years, for 20 years. You're most likely not going to make a whole bunch of money because when you're an employee, there's only a certain point that you can go. You can only go so far. You can only go so far, and that's doing one thing. So maybe if you are a biller and you're also the office manager, then you may get more money. So you may get $25 for doing both positions. But again, you can only go so far. Now, when you have a billing business or you are working for several providers as a independent contractor, then you can make as much money as you can supply your time in doing the billing, if I'm saying that correctly. So it just depends on the capacity that you're in. If you want to make a lot of money, you're going to have to work in a different capacity. Medical offices may make less than if you're working in a hospital. It could be vice versa. It also could depend on your specialty. If you're working for a doctor who's maybe a general surgeon and then you're getting paid a commission, you might get paid a good amount. But if you're working for a mental health provider and you can even still be paid a commission, you're not probably going to get as much as someone who's working for another specialty that gets paid higher. So there are a lot of factors to include when you're trying to figure out pay. So try not to come in completely with this expectation that you're going to be making tons of money. Now, if that is your goal, if that's what you want to do, then you know you have to put your mindset to maybe starting your own business, you being a medical biller and not necessarily working for someone. You might have to start off like that so that you can get your foot in the door, but you don't want to stay that way because now you have a goal of reaching a certain amount of money. So pay definitely is the most important one. I know that many people ask that question. The next expectation that people have is that when you finish the course, and if you even go further to get your certification, that you're going to immediately get a job, or if you're deciding to open your own billing company, you're going to get a client immediately. That is not necessarily the case. Now, I know if you ask around to most people, they would say that they probably had a hard time, that it wasn't easy. And then there are some who they got it really easily, because everybody's story is different. People know different people. They know how to, sell themselves. They interview well. They market themselves so they get the job quickly. So that story can range for people, but for the majority of people, they do not get a job immediately. So if you're deciding to go into medical billing, you probably need to have in place some type of plan just in case you don't get into it immediately. Now, again, like I said, some people finish their course, get their certification, and they get a job immediately because they're out there sending out resumes and they get it really quickly. They know how to send it out. They know where to send it, and maybe they might have a lot of opportunities in their area, so they get the job quickly. Even when you open a billing business. Now, I've also a person who has a company, and I got my clients really quickly because, again, I was working for someone already. He referred me, and then I opened my business and started to get clients that way. But it is not easy to get your first client. Working on your first client can be really hard sometimes. It can be a little discouraging as well because you kind of feel like, what's going on? I can't get a client. I know what I'm doing if they just give me a chance. So it's again, though, you have to market yourself. You have to put yourself out there. You have to continuously go out there. So it's kind of like a numbers game. If you only send out one ad, or, you don't continue, you call one office to see if they need any help, but it's a numbers game. You need to call maybe 100 offices just to get 2 people who might be just interested in your billing services. Or even with your resume, you have to send out 20 resumes, 30 resumes to get 1 or 2 calls back. So you have to really just keep going at it. If it's something that you really want, you really just need to keep going at it. Then there's the fact that if you're doing a doctor's billing, that they're going to know what they're supposed to do, how they're supposed to do it. They're just going to send you the information. You're going to send out the claims. They're all going to be clean. You're going to get paid, and everything's going to be great. That, again, is an expectation. And I think that expectation comes into play because most people I hear who talk about medical billing say you don't really need any experience. It's very easy to learn. You don't need any certifications. And to an extent, all of that is true. You really don't. You can get the opportunity to be a medical biller and not have a formal course that you took or not get certified in medical billing. But I would say most definitely it will be harder that way. You probably will make a lot of errors. It won't be as easy as the provider sending you the information. They do know a little bit about billing and coding, but remember, the providers that you're working for did not go to school to bill. They went to school to treat patients. So they really sometimes don't know anything about billing. So you at least need to try and know something about billing. And this is in my opinion. I think you can take a formal course so that you can have the basis, the foundation, the confidence that it gives you, that you understand and you know what you're doing. And even if you want to go to a higher level of getting certified, I would also recommend that, because then you can know that you have the competency in the medical billing field and you'll feel confident to do it. You'll know you know what to do, and you'll have to continue getting your CEUs. So you'll have to stay up on all the new guidelines and, billing rules that's going to be out there. So a provider may know about billing because they may even have done the billing themselves for a little while, but most of them really don't know about it. They did not go to school for that, and it may not just be as easy as them just sending you the claims and there being no errors. So you need to be able to educate them, let them know what the billing guidelines are so that you can then get them paid, so that you can then get paid. Now, there's also people think that you'll learn everything you need to know in school. So even with regular school, even with the school that we are required to go to, we don't learn everything. We kind of learn a foundation of what they think we need to know in life, right? You ever get out of school and then you're like, I never used this social science that I had. I wish they had taught me how to write a check, or I mean, just anything like that. But my point is that we don't learn everything in school. So when you take a medical billing course, know that you're not going to learn everything in that course. You are just getting the foundation of how to do medical billing. They try and tell you about the most important parts and the most important things that you need to know about medical billing, but there's no way they can tell you every scenario. So in an example, let's say denials. There are so many reasons why a claim can get denied, but there's no way that in that class they could teach you all the reasons. And even if they tried, there will be one reason, two reasons, three reasons that they haven't told you about, because insurances come up with all type of things why they would deny a claim. So just remember, don't expect that you're going to learn everything. Just take as much as you can from your course, and then you will learn on the job. You'll learn as you go. As long as you're a learner, you'll do just fine. And then there is the dreadful, at least for me, that medical billing is no hard work. It is so easy. Again, all you have to do is just collect all the information from the provider's office, send that out on this claim form that's so easy to fill out, and in rolls the money. Again, I would say that medical billing is not hard, but it is not easy. It is simple. It is something that most people can learn, especially if you're interested in it. It is something that you can learn. But you have to know that there are going to be some things that you have to really comprehend. You're going to have to keep learning and try and figure out things. Sometimes they might tell you a specific answer to something and you know that this is what it's supposed to be, but then you're dealing with the insurance and they tell you something completely different, because insurances have their own policies and their own rules. So it can get frustrating with that as well. So it is not that medical billing is a completely hard thing to do or a hard thing to learn. But the reality of it is that it can be hard at times, even though you can do it. So I really don't like that one, because they always put it out there like, oh, medical billing is so easy. And I'm sitting here doing it like it is. Well, then you need to come over here and do my job. Do what I'm doing. But I'm not going to ramble anymore. That's the last one. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and comment below, because I would love to hear what your expectations was compared to what the reality is of medical billing. I'll see you next week in the next video.